Hello.
Hello. It's you know
Uh,
what? I figured today's show was we were finally going to get it perfect, and it was almost perfect until I found out about the time difference.
yeah. That was so funny. Has the
Yeah.
time? You sent me the text. Your time changed
Uh,
because mine's an hour ahead.
yeah, oh God! It was like I woke up this morning. I go 3 o'clock. Oh crap! And I and I was going, oh no. But that was pretty good. That's been one of the better starts.
I
And
think that's been the most successful on my end.
yes.
And
Oh my God.
as you can see, I added in that lovely banner across the bottom to promote Parapost and Paraflix, which launches obviously next weekend. So I thought I've done well today.
Yeah,
Brownie
you
points.
definitely brownie point. Well, not for me. Who's going to give you brownie points? The people in the room. I'm guessing the people in the room. Hopefully,
Maybe
uh,
maybe the people in the room, or maybe our surprise little friend in my green room back here,
oh,
who's
you
now
do
here.
have
We've got
one.
yeah,
Oh,
I've got
okay.
it.
He just
Yeah,
went right up there, didn't he? I told him
yep.
maybe not. Oh my god. Now
uh,
watching he's probably gonna leave. You know what? I love David, and David's a great guy, and I think what we're talking about today is a great topic. But before we get to that, let's
yep.
find out what Lex has been through for the week.
Well, so it's been a bit more of a productive week than the last one in terms of being present online. I have been on four live shows this week, including this one. So I've been pretty busy on that front. Obviously doing some debunking stuff. I've been doing some paranormal chats with Age of Darkness, uh, talking about experiences, and now obviously got this one as well. So it's been a good week for lives. Still obviously still in planning stages for everything else because we're still not out of the house yet, but it's estimated we should be out of the house in the next, I think it's a month today that I should be out.
Oh wow.
So that's the plan. That's when my work lets me back, which means I can get out of the house, do stuff a bit more. So the forest investigation should definitely be able to start being filmed in the next month, which is going to be fantastic. I'm just looking forward to getting back at it. I've missed it.
It's funny you say that. Well, as you know, I went out on Wednesday, and some people
Yeah,
will also know that I went out Wednesday, and I put some pictures up on social media from my investigation. And I thought that one picture that I put up of the Blue Ghost Tunnel of the ice that had
yeah.
formed in the middle of the tunnel was not only really cool, but kind of creepy at the same time. There is a little bit of a funny. Well, I don't know. I find it funny. Some people might not find it funny, but when I walked into, okay, so the Blue Ghost Tunnel, there's a road. The road is right here, and the tunnel's right here, basically. So you go down like a trail, and then you can either go left or you can either go right. And I was telling this to
Yeah.
David today, actually. So I went right, and everybody else was following me. Well, the to get down is quite steep, and it was very muddy. So when I was walking down, well, I wasn't really walking down; I was sliding down because the mud was it was so wet. Because obviously, being in Canada, the snow is going away, and it's really wet out and stuff like that. So I told everybody, listen, don't come this way, because I was sliding and grabbing onto trees while I was sliding down. So I said, my buddy, my editor had my camera. I really didn't want him to go down this way just in case he fell with my camera. So they went around the other way. Anyways, I got to the bottom, and the tunnel was right there. So I walk into the tunnel, really super dark and very creepy. Now, keeping in mind, Blue Ghost Tunnel's on the top 10 list of most haunted places in Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind. So I walk in, and just I figured I was going to say something. Okay. So I went, hello. And then literally 4 seconds later, I get a hello back. And it's a woman's voice, and there's nobody else in the tunnel.
And was there?
Lit-
I think so. You've told me this as well, but I'm just so I can
yeah.
clarify it for the room that there's no other end, is there, to come in?
There is another end. The other end is there, but there's a canal there, so there's no way to get in. So the water comes
Okay.
into the tunnel. So you literally can't enter the tunnel that way. You can't. The
Yeah.
water's deep. The water's deep. You'd be basically swimming into the tunnel. Okay, so the water's pretty deep. So there was literally nobody there. And all of a sudden I heard a woman say, hello. And there was nobody else in the tunnel. And it literally happened about 4 or 5 seconds later. And throughout the night, we were in the tunnel. And there's going to be a nice segue up to what we're going to be talking about today. So we were, all standing in the tunnel. And I would tell everybody just, be quiet because there was like 6 of us, right? And
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, everybody heard it. There was like chatter going on. It was like spirits were talking with each other. That's how loud it was. You could literally hear it. And if I didn't catch that on the microphone or the camera, I would be really, really surprised because it was loud. Everybody was going like, holy shit. Like, listen to that. Our K2 meter on the outside of the tunnel was going off like crazy. And we were
Jeez.
asking it questions, and if people don't know about the Blue Ghost Tunnel, this is long story short, there was over 1,100 deaths that happened in this area. So one, over 100 people were killed in building the tunnel. Two, when the tunnel opened, there was a train crash that killed 2 people. And three, about 200 meters away from the tunnel, there's a graveyard that was flooded from them moving the canal to build the tunnel. And 900 graveyards are still submerged under the water still to this day.
Wow.
So you're talking over 1,100 possible spirits in this tunnel. And this tunnel's absolutely crazy. Every time I go there, as soon as you walk in, bam, the chatter starts with the spirits. Your
That's insane.
SB7, your SB7 is going crazy. Your necrophonic is going crazy. Your K2 meter is going crazy. Everything is just crazy, 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 crazy. But what our topic about is today, and before I get to that, I don't want to say, Apple's probably never ever going to sponsor us. So I guess I could probably say this. Apple is probably one of the worst one of the worst companies in order to get an app or to get the app made. We've had so many problems with Apple for the iOS. So finally, today, they sent me an email saying there's a problem with your site. Okay, what's the problem now? Well, they're very, very strict on their policies when it comes to sites. Very, very strict. So everything's got to be to a T. So they said you have no blocking feature for people that use your site. So if somebody's being abusive to somebody else or being a bully or anything along that lines,
Yeah.
because you don't have that feature, we can't approve your app. I go, okay. So let me get this straight. Did you actually go through the site? Because if you go through the site, if you go to the user's profile, click on that little arrow that's beside add a friend and message, it says block. So I sent him an email back, and this is what we've been dealing with all week. So, or for the last couple of weeks. So,
And this, was it? So let's say, like, obviously the Android one went up first. That's what I've got, an Android. And how was that in comparison? Were they great to work, a lot easier to work with, or?
okay, so a world of difference. I guess their restrictions or their policies aren't as strict.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it literally took, a few days but it didn't, we got approved. And obviously we put that out on social media, but the actual app going into the Play Store didn't happen till like almost a week later. So if you were to type in Parapost Network, you wouldn't see it. we had the link to it, and that's why we put it on social media. So that took about a week. So then iOS, oh my God. So I sent them an email telling them, okay, listen, enough is enough, for God's sakes. This is what's going on. And then literally 45 minutes later, they send me an email saying your app's been approved and it should be up in the next day or two.
Jesus. Well, at least it's there.
Like,
But
honestly, it's an app. Like,
yeah,
how complicated should it be?
and I'm not gonna.
But
I've seen, and you've seen all the apps that are on these app stores anyway. It shouldn't be that difficult to approve a social media site.
so, I understand their restrictions and I understand the bullying and then the abuse and people do online and stuff like that. But for the love of God, you don't think we can go into our own site and if we see that shit going on, that we can ban them? We have the
Yeah,
capabilities. But at the end of the day, it's like, wow. And it's interesting. It's just stuff like that. And I know we had a conversation the other day about what we were going to do for the show this week instead of a guest, because I think this is an important topic. And the reason why it is because it happened on Wednesday when it comes to corrupted files. If you're filming, and
yeah,
so we were at the Blue Ghost Tunnel for almost 2 hours. And now I was with Zach, who's my editor, Savon, who was another camera guy, and then Reckless Adventure.
yeah.
Now we only had one half of Reckless because Mo couldn't come. So there was he brought somebody else by the name of Josh who was taking pictures. And he got some incredible pictures. And he even captured what looks like to be a orb going through the tunnel. And it's a white stream. And it's
Yeah.
really, really super cool. So we were in there for almost 2 hours in this tunnel. And I tell you, I was cold by the time I left. It was a lot colder in there than it was outside. So, and that ice sculpture there was absolutely cool. And the reason we were in there for a little bit longer is because some people came in and I finally got the opportunity to actually see people spray paint a wall. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I asked them how long they were going to be, and they said about 9 minutes. So they eventually left. But while we were outside of the tunnel, we started, let's do a K2, see what happens. Bam, boom. The K2 is going like crazy.
Yeah.
And it was really, really cool. I wish you were there. I really, really wish you were there because you would have had a blast. So,
I really
anyways,
wish I was there.
yeah. So, anyways, so we're in about an hour and a half of filming. Half Reckless Adventure comes up to me and goes, Brian, you're not going to believe what's happened. I go, what? Everything I filmed in the last hour and a half has been corrupted. I went, what? And to say the least, he was a little pissed off because there was a lot going on that night that would have been great
Yeah.
on a video for him. Now he ended up redoing it again, but he only got 20 minutes. Now, corrupted files. This is an interesting topic because I've seen it happen a lot. And I would just happen to be speaking to the Nightmare Project after our investigation. And he goes, you know what? I've heard it happen so much. Is it related to the paranormal? And that's what we want to talk about today. So,
Yeah, and I think it's a great topic to bring up because I think every investigator at some point has had a technical error like this, whether it's corruption or deleted files or manipulation or malfunction on perfectly working instruments. And I think it's not something that's really addressed enough, and it should be explained a little bit, I think, and I'm hoping we can give a decent clarification on it because it's a bit heartbreaking when it happens, especially like let's say like that Wednesday footage. That's an hour and a half of work lost, and you're not going to get that result back because paranormal, as you know more than I do, how unpredictable the results of an investigation are. You could have
yeah.
a great hour and then it's nothing for the rest of the day. So, yeah, it's a completely soul destroying. I'll get into an example that's happened to my lot a bit more into the show. But yeah, I do agree. I think this is a topic that I'm really glad we're doing, and I hope everyone enjoyed the thumbnail that we did where we glitched it out to make it look a bit topical. I thought,
Yeah, you don't realize how long that took me. That took me a long time.
really,
First, I had to find one, and then because I use a site called I don't know if you've ever heard of this site before, but it's really cool. It's called Pixlr, and you can either
oh
do
yeah, yeah.
X or E. And I use that site. It's great. Canva's good. Canva's really good. Snap is good. But I find with Pixlr, you get a lot more font choices and you get a lot more stock pictures. But the problem was I was looking for a stock picture and none of the stock pictures were uploading. It said error, error, error. I go, of course. Why wouldn't that happen to me? So I ended up going to another site and getting a free stock picture, which looked
Yeah.
great. But then I'd never done that before, where you have to fade in one, fade out the other to make it blend through. So, I thought it was really cool, but it took me a long time to do it. But I think the end result was really good,
Well, it does look
or at
good, and I'd
least
like to say thank you for bringing my vision to life because it was my idea, and knowing I wasn't going to do the work. But I thought it would be nice to do something special. As everyone knows around the world, it is Mother's Day today. Hence the reason why we didn't think we'd get a guest, really, because everyone's going to be off celebrating with their parents and hanging out with their
I
mums,
tried.
which is great.
I tried, but everybody was saying, "Oh, I'm spending time with my family." I think before we go further into this, maybe we should bring. I know David's been waiting in the room for 20 minutes, and sorry, David, I apologize. Maybe we should bring him up for a little bit, and
Well,
or do you want
well,
to?
seeing as I can see him in the green room, if he can give me a thumbs up if he wants to come in now. There we go. Give me two of them. Nice ones. Everyone, this is David. He's been a guest on our show before, so please welcome him back to Through the Lens. How's it going there, David?
Hold on. I'm using my dowsing rods. Hold on.
No corrupted files there.
No corrupted files. Just wondering if the two cats I adopted this week are going to be, are they going to be okay or no? Gosh, dang it.
Nothing. You know what? Maybe.
Sorry, guys. I'm just joking.
Listen. Let's hope that StreamYard doesn't get corrupted files to upload this video.
I was going to say, do you know how funny it would be if my stream just died off then, as soon as you were like this?
Hey, Nubs, how's it going? Yeah, no, I just wanted to have a good laugh of just having the dowsing rods.
It's funny.
I do seriously use these. I was just taking a mick. So there you go.
I kind of had a feeling you were going to do something, because I remember the time. I think it was I can't remember the episode. You were going to wear something or something like that. Oh yeah, you were going to wear a shirt on the time we had you on the show, because the soccer shirt or the
shirt. The Man United shirt. Yeah. But we didn't know Lex was a big Man United supporter. So
he was hoping for the opposite. He was hoping that maybe you were a fan of Chelsea or something like that.
Chelsea or Baby Blue. Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about, Lex.
I do. It was quite funny that you asked me about the game that's currently playing. It's just kicked off the second half, still 0-0.
0-0 against West Ham. Come on. Seriously. Well, at least England pulled off a last minute Six Nations win against France yesterday. So there you go.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that sport. Yeah, we're good at that one.
Well,
football.
We can talk about that. I mean, the Welsh have been killing everybody this year. So
I think we've come on to an interesting topic before you came on the show, David, of corrupted files. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. It's never happened to me, but I've been around it where it has happened.
Yeah.
And is it paranormal? Is it something in the phone? Because I've never seen a person have a problem with it when they're using a camera. Only when they're using a phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really great point that you bring up, Brian and Lex, about corrupted files, and I'm sure everybody who investigates usually comes to the point one time of if they're filming with their phone, whatever phone they have, of when they're filming and they have something go wrong. But to kind of elaborate on that point, also, I've also had it done with my cameras.
Oh, really?
Whether it be just battery dying, something like that, or actually in the footage of of everything's going well for like about 5 or 10 minutes, and then either the audio goes dead, or video kind of goes out. So I don't know. I don't know per se what it is that happens in there, because I like to say that, like, not every place is haunted, but it's just really weird sometimes how it just happens with either a phone or a camera. So has that happened to you, Lex or Brian, or no?
So the actual corruption of data hasn't happened to me. There's a manipulation one which we'll go into a bit later on.
Okay.
But in terms of corruption, I actually have, so on my show, I have a friend of mine who comes along, and he's like my scout. I send him to places to have a walk around, get to know it, come back and let me know if we should go and do a video there. But he's also my skeptic. So, but he's getting more and more into the paranormal. So we're doing a series as soon as we're allowed out of lockdown in a foresty park thing near here. And so he was like, "I'm gonna go and do an overnight walk, and we'll just let me get a feel of the place." And I was like, "Yeah, by all means, go and shoot a video, see if you can get anything before I go out." And so he went through. He's using his apps and stuff and equipment that I've asked him to use, and he's having a good time. He's there for 4.5 hours, 5 hours. Started at midnight, left at 5. He got home, plugged his SD card from his camera to his laptop, and every bit of footage has been deleted. But not just of that investigation, all his exploration videos had also been wiped off the same SD card. So he was gutted.
You know what? I think there's a lesson to be learned there, that when you film, you take it right off the SD card, and so you don't have that problem. And that's lesson learned, I'm sure, for him.
So, Brian, have you ever had like some footage of where you like waited a day on and then it was corrupted? I mean, because sometimes I've had that, and then sometimes I've had some problems with my Macintosh. So, I mean, I don't know if it's computer or paranormal. It just sometimes it's just really weird. Do you understand what I'm saying, or no?
Yeah, I do. And the only thing it's really ever happened to me, the last investigation that I was out back in November, I had my JBL hooked up to my SB7, which I always do, for obvious reasons. So it's louder, so we can understand it. Yes. You have the SB11. I have the SB7.
I know. Yeah, it's just different, but still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about the JBLs that I did not know, that I found out the other day, is they have a microphone in them.
Oh. Uh-oh. What do you mean a microphone?
They have a microphone in the JBLs.
Like an Alexa or something like that, or no?
My editor Zach was telling me they actually have microphones in the JBLs. I did not know that.
Oh, nor did I.
So anyways, the back in November when I was filming a video for those 3 businesses that I did, for some reason the JBL, the SB7 was not working.
Just cut off.
It stopped. It was working in one store, and then the next store I went into, and it didn't work at all.
That's weird.
And I couldn't figure out why. So, but I don't know. I just I see it all the time, because that particular night also, here's another example. That particular night we were filming, another group that was filming with us, the same thing. He was filming with his phone, and he filmed all 3 locations, and everything was corrupted.
Lex, what about you?
So yeah, like, nothing like this has ever happened to me, really.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, but again, I'm really early. I think I've only done a few investigations, but like I said, like I've had manipulation rather than corruption.
Let's find out about Lex. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just making fun. I'm sorry. No, I
Yeah.
really like the Dowser Rose. I'm sorry. I'm just making fun. So go on. Go on, Lex. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'll touch on in terms of this is
I'm
why
sorry.
I'm glad that is the I think when it comes to whether or not this is paranormal based or not, I have a I tend to think it is, but I don't know how far that would go because there's a difference between manipulation and physically removing something off of a memory card.
Okay.
And I don't know if you were to get an SD card and stick it to a magnet, does that remove all the data that's on there? Because then you could say, well, the electromagnetic energy could do it, but I just don't know. But I think it happens far too often in this field to be ignored as a coincidence and everyone buying crap software. Because I think you get the most up to date cameras and stuff like that, and it still happens to them. But
Yeah,
it's
and
just a weird.
just like being in radio, when you wanted to delete a tape that you had, or
Yeah,
like a cart or anything like that, they used to have like a huge magnet, like in a break room or something like that, of where you would actually put the tape on and it would erase everything off that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in agreement with what you said about, I've got an iPhone 12 that I film on. Nothing's happened on this one, but with my iPhone 10, I've had things delete. Like I said, with my other camera, things, audio or video have come off that. It just, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things of you can explain. It's just really weird, and that's why you need to have at least 2 or 3 cameras going at the same time. Do you guys agree with that or no?
Yeah, I do.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And like for example, like Wednesday night when I went out on Wednesday, we had two cameras going, and it's a good thing that we did, and with half as corrupted files. And I just want to throw this out here now that I do have a link for people that are listening and for people that are going to listen to the replay. We will put it in the description that if you hit onto this link, you can actually hook up your phone to your laptop or how it's done, and it might recover your corrupted files.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I'm gonna put that link, or I'm gonna get Lex. I'm gonna send it to Lex to put that link in the description. Just hit it and just follow the steps because they might be able to repair your corrupted files. Another suggestion that I would make, and I know this has happened before to somebody else, and they called their cell phone user, not the Wi-Fi and all that stuff, the people that actually make the phone, and they can maybe help you recover those files also. There's always a way, but sometimes there's not. But like I've never had it happen to me with corrupted files, but again, I don't film with my phone. I film with a camera. I've never actually had an SD card get corrupted. I just haven't experienced it, but I've had a lot of people around me who have experienced it. And what do you say? What do you do? Sorry, like let's start again. Like
Dude, it's such a bummer, Brian. You've been out for 2 hours. Like when I investigate, I don't like to go for like more than like 2 or 3 hours. That's just my philosophy on investigating. And then when you get back, and you're spent because you're using all your spidey senses and everything like that, so you're kind of drained a bit and you just want to relax, and you wake up the next day and you plug your phone into your computer or whatever, even if you're using like a straight camera or something like that, you do it and then you just look at it and it's just all destroyed and you're like, this is not cool. What is going on? So but that goes to the energy in the place of where you're at. Whether you've done your research, how you were feeling at the time, how the site you were at was feeling. So there's a lot of factors that might go into this if you kind of smell what I'm cooking of where I'm going with this. So I mean,
Oh
all of
God, he's
those.
getting into wrestling terms.
No,
Oh no, he's getting
no,
into wrestling terms.
no, not okay.
The Rock.
Yeah. Well, of course. Uh, of just all these things that kind of come into of come into what goes into an investigation. It could even be yourself of how you feel at the time. That kind of corrupts what's going on. I mean, we don't have any evidence other than the stuff isn't on our phone or camera. So what could it be? I mean, is it EMFs? Is it just something that's going on wherever you're at? I mean, I'm going on and on and on.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm glad you said that about the EMF, because it's the same question that we had over the last 3 or 4 weeks with me and Lex about the EMF going off for
Yeah.
just wherever, and it's spiking a lot more than it has in the past.
Sure.
Is
Yeah,
it something in the air? It's like, what is the spirit doing? Coming up to your phone and going into your phone and grabbing the files and taking them out? Like what the fuck is going on? Like,
That's you can't say that I'm here. Give me that.
Well,
My
actually,
spirit wife will see me.
actually, what's happening is the electromagnetic field around the Earth is actually switching. So
Yeah.
true north is going to true south, and I mean, what they say is it takes about 100,000 years, but we don't know what we've done with our industrial age or whatever. And I don't want to get in that debate. I'm just saying, but it is actually turning quicker. So I mean, that might be some explanation. I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it just could be something like that. So,
And it could be, but I think at the end of the day, I think most of us understand and realize that this stuff happens and it's going to happen. And I always tell people, for myself, if they're coming out with me or if we're going out, I tend to tell them not to use their phones just in case this does happen, because it's more likely going to happen on your phone than it is going to happen on a camera.
yeah.
I've heard it more on the phone. Now, if you have a Samsung, I heard it happens a lot more on a Samsung. I have a Samsung too. So,
iPhone 12.
but I've also heard it happen on the iPhones, but not as much.
Well, it's happened to me. So.
It's an interesting topic. I don't know if we've really solved anything, or we're going to solve the world's problems on corrupted files, but it definitely is an interesting topic that we can continue talking about always, I guess. So,
have you ever had corrupted files on like your digital recorder or anything like that?
No,
because I have.
No.
I have. Yeah. Yeah,
See,
like
that's-
when
like the,
something
like the-
when
like
something just goes and it goes on for like 2 minutes, and I don't think it's like something that's screaming for 2 minutes or anything like that. But yeah, I've had corrupted files on my digital recorder.
Now you would
I've
have
had
to
a glitchy effect on mine.
Okay.
Which was actually one of the videos where it sounds like the electric is spitting at me. It's quite a horrible sound, but I don't know if it was the quality of the recorder I bought, because it's not exactly the most expensive one. But yeah, that was probably the
You didn't
only
pay
thing I've had on mine.
$2,000 for the Panasonic, like 92,000 whatever it is that everybody has.
I spent about £30.
Same with mine.
Well, it's funny because when I was at the Blue Ghost Tunnel, or the streaming tunnel, the second tunnel that I did on Wednesday, I just used the voice recorder in my phone. And it seems to work excellent in the first 2 minutes, literally the first 2 minutes. And I counted, I captured 5 EVPs in the first 2 minutes. And I did a 4-minute voice recorder, and I caught 3 more. So I caught literally 8 EVPs in 8 minutes.
That's crazy.
Like-
did you have airplane mode on? or no?
I did.
Okay.
I
Well,
do,
yeah.
and I did say on the video that it is in airplane mode. So, and my
That's even
cage,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Good job.
I tend to put it on airplane mode all the time now, just so
You
you
have
don't have
to.
that skeptics coming
Yeah.
in going, wasn't on airplane mode.
Yeah. No, and
You're
that,
faking it. You're
yeah.
faking it.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was getting at
yeah.
with people like, oh, or they're filming and then all of a sudden they get a ding. You're like, dude, come on. Just like you don't have like an hour, sorry to get off topic,
No.
but has there been anything else of like where you've like been interrupted with just other things, or do we just think like it's audio, analog, or video? If you understand what I'm saying. So
Go ahead, Lex. I'll let you
Yes,
take
so
care.
I've yeah. So in terms of other stuff, like one of the biggest things that happened to us was I did when I investigated my dad's house, and I was using an SLS camera and filming around the house. But what was really weird with that one is, and it's happened twice. So I kind of think it's probably the software's damaged, but it's worked since then. But on there's two times I used it, so it worked fine as I'm walking through. And then when I played it back, the audio and the video had become so desynced, but at certain points. So like it would play normally. And then when I moved into the kitchen, which is where the stick figure was made in the doorway, the audio completely cuts off and then joins back in later on from the point where it cut. So that's probably the weirdest one, and that we had to take that completely out. Well, I think that one I left in the video, but I put a message up saying I'm not going to play the whole lot because it just completely goes wrong. So I showed where the audio dies, and then I did it again when I did the Red Book game series here, where I went through my house with a black and white SLS camera, and the exact same thing happened there, where the video and audio file was completely reverted the wrong way around, and I couldn't fix it. So that's the biggest manipulation I've had.
Well, do you think? I mean, with the SLS camera, I mean, and the audio and video, do you think that's paranormal? I mean, with what you were just saying, of going into certain places, that kind of sounds like a little bit of manipulation to me. I mean,
This is
that's
where
my
I got
opinion.
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where I got a bit confused because the first time I did it, it happened in the room where we saw the fig. When we were testing out the camera the first time before we used it, that's when the stick figure appeared in front of the door, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the room we're going to have to do this in.
Mhm.
And when we went back in that room, and I filmed the walkway through, so I do an introduction on that camera, look around the room I'm in, then I walk across the corridor into the next room, and then the stick figure appears, and then the sound stops. So like almost straight away, like stick figure, sound cut. And I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. Then randomly it starts cutting audio back in, but it's not the right audio. So it's not like it's missing a bit of a clip and then it turns back on. It's taken an audio clip from somewhere else in that video and it's moved it into this bit here. It was really weird. So that one threw me. And I was like, that one could be paranormal. The second one with the SLS camera, the black and white one, I don't think that one was. I think that might have been an issue with the software or the hardware because nothing was happening in that investigation anyway. Like this was the conclusion of my videos, so like everything had gone quiet, nothing was going on,
Sure.
and I just thought I'd do the walk around as a test. I was like, we'll do one more to see if anything pops up again, and nothing did. But on playback, it had completely, and this was worse than the first time. That it had completely fried. Like the video was jumping to different points, then the audio would kick in different points. It was really weird. So I personally, I think the first one could have been. The second one, I think, is just the broken because I used a different system for it. So,
well, it's almost not relative to anything paranormal today, but or what we're talking about. But for example, today, I needed to use my copier to print something out, and the fucking thing wouldn't work. It works every other day, and then the day I need it, it's not working.
It was ghost.
It's like, what the hell? Like this was an important piece of paper that I needed to copy to fill out to send it to my agent, and it wasn't working. So it's just, and it works every other day. I don't know. It's just weird things are happening. EMF meters going off where they shouldn't
Yeah.
be, and stuff like that. And the corrupted files with Hef and corrupted files, what happened in the investigation last November. And it's just too many weird things going on to say there's nothing going on when there's something going on.
No, I agree with you. My wife and I share an office, as you can see behind me, with KD2 screens behind there. It just we were in the office this week, and unfortunately, we had to put my cat down last week. But so I was in here sending some emails, and I looked over, just kind of like this, over towards the door. I was like, I just saw something. And she goes, really? And my wife she's not into the paranormal, she understands what I'm doing. And so then she said, yeah, you know what? I saw something yesterday. So, and that just goes to what you're saying, Brian, of, there's some things that are going on that, are just kind of really kind of, I don't know what it is. It's the same thing of I felt in Point Pleasant, the same thing of when I went to Devil's Tramping Ground, of just like, there's nothing there that's going to hurt me right now, but I feel underneath there's something that is, all right, dude, come back again, and here we go. It's just really weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, for me to say nothing's ever happened to me when I've been on an investigation regarding corrupted files, it's never happened to me. Now, I said earlier about the JBL and the SB7, stuff like that. My equipment hasn't been working when it was working before I came into the location, because sometimes I usually test it out before I go in. And then once I get into the place, it's not working anymore. Why? What is going on here? It's not a coincidence that
they're drawing.
They're
just drawing stuff.
Is it just the energy is so thick and so bad, and not necessarily bad, but thick, that it's somehow messing with your equipment?
I've had it happen a lot of times on investigations with my true camera. I've got 3 different phones. I've even rigged up systems, Brian and Lex, of where, I have the power sticks, then the cord that goes into the camera, and still everything will drain. And these power sticks are charged up to the hilt. Like, I'm watching them, like, charge up, going like, okay, it's the 3 bars, it's fine. And then, I'll put it in a certain place, and then I'll go back, and just like, the camera's not working. It's just not working, and this is like, I'll just say, like, iPhone 8, which isn't that old, and I could still record on it, an iPhone X, iPhone 10, and like, I haven't had anything happen with this one right here, but yeah, I mean, it just, things will just drain and drain and drain, and just even with like, I have a collection of those the LED cat balls,
Yeah. Hold up for a minute.
Sure.
Just hold it for a minute. There is something that just went in front of your camera right now and went straight up.
There you go.
Right on I'm looking at I'm looking at you right now on my side and the right side, just right in the camera. It went straight right up. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't think that's a bug. I think that was an actual orb that went straight up. Remember this time. What time are we on? 45 minutes.
Yeah,
go back to it. Yeah, go back to that. You're going to see something just went straight up.
Okay, good.
So there is something in your room. Maybe it's your cat.
Who knows? Like I was saying, I had the LED balls stop working, of places. One of the places was Devil's Tramping Ground. So it's just, I don't know what it is when you get involved with the paranormal or how they try to gain energy. And I'm pretty sure, like, you, Lex, and Brian, of when I get back from an investigation, I'm drained, dude. Like, I can't do anything the next day. And like, people are like, no,
that just might be age, David. I'm sorry. That just might be age.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely age.
When you get down here, I'll put you in the Thunderdome and we'll see how much age is.
Because I know Lex, I can guarantee Lex doesn't feel that way the next day. He's probably all pumped and ready to go out and do it again.
That's incredible. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, listen, dude, I'm around your age too, and it happens to me. I'm drained the next day, and I don't think that has anything to do with paranormal. I think that's just age. But Lex, please tell me that you feel that way, because if you don't, I'm getting off this fucking stream right now. Okay, sorry for my language.
I will say that I don't feel drained the next day. However, even if I've only gone out for an hour to do it, I am absolutely down and out when I get home. Like, I don't know whether or not the next day is because of the age thing, because I'm a bit young, but definitely when I get home from doing an investigation.
You're English. You're English. You're not young. You guys age like in dog years. Stop it. No.
I'm 28, which means I'm 28 times 7.
Yeah, you're like 322. So.
Well, you know what?
I'm looking really good for 322.
Yeah. Sorry.
You know what? It's nice. I want to thank. It's definitely an interesting topic. I definitely want to thank you, David, for coming on today. And
anytime.
You spend time with your. I don't know. Is your mother still alive?
My mom? No.
Okay.
She passed. Both my parents are passed.
Okay.
So just me, my brothers, and my wife, and now 2 cats that I have to deal with. So instead of 1.
Oh,
I know. I know. And these guys are we're gonna have fun with them. So
you got some new kittens? Yeah. So you went and you lost one, then gained back 2.
Yeah, well, even though I grieved over Rooney, pour out for him. Our thought in life is to make sure that animals have a great home. So even though we still grieve, we still want to bring an animal or 2 into our house, and I think everybody should do that because it's a great thing, and you can just have them have a great life. And just have fun with them. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're on your lap or not. Still, you're providing them a great life.
But let's not forget. If you do have an animal, make sure you get them spayed or neutered.
Absolutely.
A little Bob
100%.
Barker there.
Yeah. No,
a little Bob Barker
100%, and make sure that they don't get outside. Keep them inside. I mean, obviously, a dog is different, but if you have a cat, keep them inside and stuff like that. Yeah. So we have Oscar and Sam now. So.
Cool. Well, congratulations on your new addition.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today on this interesting topic.
I know
we got a little bit off topic a couple times there, but it's okay.
It's okay.
That's what this is all about. But
sure.
I hope you have a great rest of the day, David. We will definitely speak soon. And within the next day or 2, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Lex, Man United. No, Man United.
No, Lord.
Man United.
1-0.
The Leafs till I die.
The Leafs were
United
robbed.
Till I know I am. I'm sure I am. And United till I die.
The Leafs were robbed last night.
Ah, nice. Should I do an old one? Gigs will tear you apart again. Gigs will tear you apart again. So those are
him out.
Yeah, those
kick
are
him out.
Yeah.
Kick him out. He's
hold on. What is it? Ronaldo. He goes on the left. He goes on the right. Ronaldo will make you look like shite or something like that. So that's when Ronaldo played for Man United.
That's very good.
So there you go. All
Anyways,
right, boys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Lex,
Thank
awesome.
You.
Brian, awesome.
Thank you.
Lex, whenever you get over here, we can see some MLS, and you'll just laugh at it. So,
Yeah.
I will indeed.
all right, boys.
Take care.
Thank you. We'll see you down the
Take
road.
care.
Okay. Bye.
Down the road. Loves him United at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know what? David has turned into a really, really good friend of mine. And I've mentioned this before. Me and him are sharing a booth at Texas Con
Yeah.
in August. And he will be showcasing his Our Haunted Lives show, obviously, along with Parapost and a little bit of Hauntophobia, not very much, more Parapost than anything. So I love David. He's turned out to be a really, really good friend. And I'm glad WhatsApp exists because that's how we communicate. So just getting back to the topic a little bit, and if there's new people in the room, we're talking about glitches, corrupted files, what to do about it, if you can do anything about it. And I said this earlier in the show. I do have a link that will be put in the description. So if you do have corrupted files and you want to try this site, you can. I don't know if there's a cost. I don't think there's a cost. I think it's free. I'm not sure. I've never had to go into it. But Mike from Charm City Paranormal sent me that link back in November after the investigation that I had with another group that lost all their files. So I don't know if I don't think he ever recovered it. Samsung couldn't help him. I don't know if he ever tried the link, but at the end of the day, why not try it? We'll put it in the description if you ever have that problem. So I think that's about it. I think that's our show, right? Unless you want to say anything, Lex.
Well, I just want to add on to the thing. Was like as much as it is a really horrible feeling when it happens, and like we've said, it hasn't happened to us yet. It probably will happen to us at some point, Brian. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
And I think we just, as much as it sucks, I think people just need to just remember that it might be gone, but there's always another thing you can do to get something back. Like whether or not that means you go back and try again. At the end of the day, it's disheartening, but it's not the end of everything. I've seen people get really upset when they lose their files, and they get really put off going back out and doing this again. And I just want to say is like it's going to happen. This is, as I said when I put this tweet up about the show, it is a side effect of investigations, and unfortunately, there's more than one side effect. There's the threat of possible injury, mental problems. But we walk into this knowing these are things that could potentially happen. So I think everyone just needs to remember that there are things that, like with this link we're going to put in the description, there are ways that we can try and help you get it back. But if you've lost footage, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And just let people know that that's what's happened to you. And you know what, the community will stand behind you and be like, "Oh, we're really sorry."
Yeah, I just sent you that. I just sent you that link right now. It's actually free. It's free video recovery software. So
Fantastic.
I believe it's EASEUS, Ease Us. So you can try that. We'll put that link in the description. I think the only thing that I would say about that, what you just said, was I understand people get upset and I understand people get mad, but I even understand more if they just spent over $1,500 to get into a place and everything's gone.
Yeah. So yeah, that would probably that I didn't think of, but again, it's not the end of the world. It's
No.
the message I'm trying to say is I don't get deterred by a side effect. Like at the end of the day, doing this is worth it.
Yeah.
But like anything that's worth doing, there's some horrible obstacles that are going to try and keep you down, and that's just one of them. And once you can overcome that, and you just keep pushing forward anyway, you're going to bring out some great evidence. You're going to find some great locations, and hopefully technology will increase to the point where they can protect this stuff from happening. But it's just what it is.
Yeah, I do want to say something before we leave the show. I saw a tweet the other day that kind of disappointed me, and I want to mention this tweet. He also put it on Instagram, and I am going to get him to watch this show and understand that this is a guy that's a super guy. We've had a few different or sometimes where we've communicated through Twitter and stuff like that. It's Paranormal Reacts.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and I really enjoy his stuff. And I guess he's in a position right now where he feels that what he's doing is not worth it. And I told him the other day, or I mentioned in a tweet, that YouTube and all this stuff, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I really hope he doesn't stop doing it, because I do enjoy what he does. And I hope he watches this video because he's just a great guy, and I don't want him to give up. And I enjoy what he does. And I know he's reacted on one of my videos. He's also reacted on one of Mike's videos from Charm City Paranormal. He's just a great guy, and I really hope he doesn't give up. I hope he continues plugging away, doing what he does best, and that's reacting to videos. And that's all I want to say about him. Don't give up, buddy. Don't give up.
I second that. YouTube is a horrible game sometimes, but you're good at what you're doing, and you should just keep it up. You've got people that are enjoying the content and enjoying you as a person, and that's what's important. Your viewers and sub counts are the least important thing on YouTube when it comes to connecting with people. And as Brian said, he is one of many that really enjoy what you're putting out. And you should. It should be catering for them and yourself, not for a corporation behind it. So don't give up, man. Don't give up. I appreciate that.
Have you ever had Have you ever had the opportunity to speak to him?
I haven't spoke to him though, but I have watched his videos before.
Yeah, and he's really a good guy, and I really enjoy talking to him when we do. And I was disappointed when I saw that tweet the other day, and I responded immediately after I saw that tweet. I just basically said it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I hope he sees this. I'm going to let him know that we talked about him in this video, and I want him to watch. I won't make him suffer throughout the whole thing. I'll tell him go to the end. No, maybe I'll tell him to watch it. It's
just watch I'd also like to let him know that if he does watch the video, that if he wants us to help push these videos out, as much as possible, then we're more than happy to do that if it's going to help.
I always do.
I mean, that's how I know you. You were helping me out at the beginning, so I think. Yeah, like I said, just get if he wants our help, we'll push it out on our platforms, or we can even shout it out on here. We can do a bit for him.
Sorry, Lex, for interrupting. I actually asked him a couple of weeks ago if he wants to come on our show, and he was unable to come the one weekend. But I am going to reach out to him again and get him on the show, because I don't think people understand that it takes a lot of work to do all this stuff. But that aside, he's a great guy. He really is. And that's I was just honestly, I was just disappointed when I saw it. And maybe there's other reasons that we don't know about that he doesn't want to share. And that's fine. You have a personal life, and I understand that. But I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he's getting not very many views. I think on one video that he just recently released, I think it's had 4 in total. And disappointing. And you put a lot of work into it. We can help him improve. We can give him a helping hand. That'd be great. So I think we should end it here. I'll let you say your final words, and I'm going to say my final words, because we're just over an hour.
No worries. And as always, I have a brand new one again this week. I'm going to change it every week because I like doing this. So, and this one I think is really nice, and especially touching on what we've just spoke about now. I just want to say thank you for tuning into this week's show again. Thank you for watching it on the rerun if you are, and please make sure that you follow both myself and Hunterphobia on our YouTube channels. Links are in the description. As David, who joined the show today, his link is in the chat. So if you want to go in there and subscribe to his channel and follow us all on Twitter, the links are all available. But yeah, thank you for that. And I was going to sign off by saying that, and this is why it's appropriate, that everyone, please keep your feet on the ground, but keep reaching for those stars. Thank you very much.
Good. I like that one. And every week I say the same one because I'm a huge fan of it, and I believe it relates to everybody or everyone. Excuse me. Don't let yesterday use up today. And thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely fantastic. We'll see you next Sunday. Thank you very much, and good night.
Good night, guys.